Hey everybody, and welcome back. Well, as you can see, we're in considerable disarray this weekend. I've even forgot my hat. And we've been so busy with other stuff because we've been coming up to the presentation date for Jensen's project that I haven't got much done on the Yambasaki, as you saw from the title of this video. In fact, the only thing I've done really is I have been bead blasted, so it wasn't anything to show you. So what I thought I would do is get Jensen to run through his two projects, because I know some of you showed some interest in them. He built the BSA Trials bike, but he also built in his own time, just from a set of drawings, an electric bike. So what I'm going to do is bring him in and he can go through the two projects and show you what's what. So before we do that, thanks again for even more subscribers. We're really coming along a pace. Certainly, I mentioned it before, I never expected to get to this many. It's always just been a case of inviting people to look over my shoulder in the workshop. It's not how-to videos or anything like that. It's just 40 minutes spent in somebody's shed almost. Anyway, let me go and find Jensen and we'll get him to run through his two projects for you. Hi everybody, this is Jensen.
Hey y'all.
And these here are the two projects that I mentioned. His trials bike and the electric bike, which was made completely from scratch, just from drawings. So I'll let Jensen tell you about them both a bit, and then we'll do a little bit of video of him riding them both. So over to you, Jensen.
Alright, so we'll start with the Trials bike. It's my version of Mike's BM250, BSA, or whatever you want to call it. We did a little bit of badge engineering on it because we discovered when we were using our engine, it's a TR25W, which is the predecessor to the B25, but it's a Triumph version. Is it the C15?
The C25.
Of the C25. So I saw that and I was like, ooh, Triumph, we can paint that. It was basically the same build process. We have TY wheels and front end, a Triumph motor, a BSA B25 frame, and then a TY 250 rear wheel. So we had to do some adapting in the head up here to get all that to fit. Yeah, Mike's the motorcycle expert, so that's really all I can say. It's my bike, but I don't know the most about it. It's definitely fun to ride. Rides very nice. It has the low compression piston in it, so you get a really smooth power stroke. You don't even feel the individual strokes at all almost. Turns nice and tight, just rides just like the BSA. But the electric bike is something I can talk about. I have wanted an electric bike for quite a while. And there is a production model that looks a lot like this called the Juiced Bikes Camp Scrambler. But that was far too much money than I wanted to spend. So I thought when I was up here, I need a second project. So I designed this thing, hopped in a CAD program and designed the frame and everything so it would fit me. Mike actually can't ride, he's 2 inches too short on both sides. So I've made a tall people vehicle. But has a hub motor that I got off of eBay. Then I wanted another fat tire. You can see it's got a fat tire in the back. I wanted a fat tire for the front, couldn't find one. But I got all my bits, then I modeled it up in CAD, then I brought it out here, those drawings that I'd made. We'll get the drawings.
Certainly. Right.
So you can see the drawings here. They're a little grungy from having gone through all the building, but this is the CAD drawings that I got the computer to spit out. There's some drawings of the frame, and then I took these and turned them into the bike just by cutting up some tubes and coping and welding. So, as I was saying, the frame's totally from scratch. It's 4130 16th wall steel. Then The battery in here, that was actually a homemade battery as well. I took a bunch of laptop batteries. Inside a laptop battery, there's a bunch of smaller lithium-ion cells called 18650 cells. And so there's about 6 of those in the batteries. And so I tore all of those down, refreshed the cells, charged them up, figured out which ones were bad, because it only takes one cell to make a bad pack. So I took all those, then I connected them all up into a 13S, that 13 batteries in series, which means it's a 54.6 volt pack when it's fully charged, a 48 nominal. And it has about 17 amp hours of capacity, which means riding around on this thing, I can probably get 30 miles at full throttle, open all the time. I made the seat. That's from a piece of foam from a motorcycle seat that I chopped up and then turned into a smaller seat for this. The pedals are on here more for show than for actual use, because the motor's just so much more powerful, and it's a heavy thing, so you're never going to be pedaling it. You can do some pedal assist though, give it throttle and pedal. I worked disc brakes into it, so you have up here. So it's full disc brakes. It's got these little foot pegs that fold down to allow you to sit on it without having to pedal. Top speed is about 32 miles an hour or so. Sometimes it gets a little faster if you're going over bumps and because it has no suspension or anything, but yeah, it's a fun thing to ride and a really good project.
Okay, I tell you what, we'll come and have a closer look now.
So in here we've got the battery. This is a nice aluminum box that I created for it. You can see we've got a rubber strap holding it in, and then this right here, that's the battery. Then up under there, tucked under there, we have the motor controller, which runs up to the throttle twist grip. Up here you've got brakes too. The brakes actually cut the motor when you pull them, so you can't give throttle and brakes at the same time. Got the big hub motor in here with the big fat 4-inch tire. And then I had to, so this was a hub motor for the front wheel of a bike, so it didn't have anything to put a sprocket on. So I had to machine this little bit to adapt the freewheel to the motor, and then I welded it onto the side plate. That was single point threading on the lathe, things like that. Then this bit came from a donor bike. I chopped off the bottom bracket on a donor bike and stuck it on here and welded it on. Then everything else is pretty much just normal kit stuff you can get for a bicycle. The headset, the forks, everything like that was all stuff that just plug and play and fits together.
Alright, let's see you ride it.
Because we've got such a high voltage 48 volt battery, if you would plug this right in there, you get a big spark, and the circuitry in here doesn't like that. It would turn off the battery as a protection measure. So we've got this deal, which is an anti-spark plug that's wired in series with the battery. So you can take that out, plug the battery in, then plug this in, and no spark, and it turns right on. That's too noisy. We don't have to use that.
Okay. This thing really disappears. 30 mile an hour on a push bike like that is quite something. Right, I suppose I better give you a close-up of this before you all start complaining. So, as Jensen said, we use TY front and rear wheels, our usual frame mods, and again he did all of this. So, Renthal bars, an original alloy tank from the B25 type, OKO carb, skid plate, footrest moved back, chain guard and a chain tensioner on this one, unlike the Scrambler, but this one goes much more up and down. We got him a folding kickstart, the offset one, so he doesn't have to keep flipping up the footrest like you do on mine. Also, we put a brake pedal on the right for this, because he's also riding a modern bike, so it'll keep it easier for him. There's the silencer he made, saddle he did. So, all in all, very nice. Jensen's two projects, which I think he's pleased with. He should be, particularly the electric bike. I mean, he did all the bronze welding, everything. He did that on an evening when I wasn't here, so I can't claim anything for that at all. So that's it for this week. Sorry it was just a shortish video and not part of the project, but we'll get onto that over the next few days and we'll see you next week. So until then, enjoy yourselves.